What's the good word, y'all? Welcome to the New York Jets Syndicate channel. It's your boy DKB here. I want to talk about potential New York Jets free agent, Ben Jones, who I think could be a great fit for the short term for the New York Jets and what they're looking to do as part of rebuilding this offensive line. Ben Jones brings something to the table that I think Connor McGovern couldn't, in that he tilts the needle a little bit, right? He's just coming off a Pro Bowl season that he was able to make in only 12 games due to suffering two concussions. And yes, there were the retirement concerns. We already have a guy like that in Aaron Rodgers, but ultimately he found his way back to having the passion and ambition to want to play the game and go out there and prove himself again. And we're talking about a guy that's been very, very durable. What does he bring to the table? 172 games of experience, 151 of those as a starter, and a guy that's played over 10,000 snaps. So he's kind of seen it all, done it all, and he has the versatility to play in a few different offenses, starting his career off with the Texans and then finishing out with the Tennessee Titans. Hopefully, the New York Jets are up next. But again, we're talking about a guy that's 36. He just made the Pro Bowl. He didn't even need a full season to beat out some of the other centers that he was paired up against. And yes, it's not the most objective measurement, but still, obviously, a lot of folks out there believe that he's still a top talent in terms of the center position. He also has a little bit of versatility, played a little bit of guard earlier on his career with the Texans. I do have some concerns about the penalties with just in his time with the Titans the last 7 years. We're looking at 25 penalties, 16 of those being holding. A lot of that comes from the fact that he needs to work on his point of attack. He doesn't necessarily have the most explosive punch, and he's bringing kind of average size to the field, along with the fact that he's not going to be as athletic as guys that we usually like to see on our offensive line. But what else is he going to bring to the table, right? I talked about him shifting the needle, and he does that in the run game for us, right? Connor McGovern was very much so uh, average, to say the least, over his course with the New York Jets, and that's been just fine for what we needed, right? But we want to talk about a guy that can get pushed and different things like that. And the irony in saying all these things is I do believe that Connor McGovern's finished slightly better as a run blocker than Ben Jones. But nonetheless, I think the body of work and overall what Ben Jones has been able to do has proven that he seems to be a better prospect than Connor McGovern for us, let alone the fact that you slot him in with a guy like Laken Tomlinson, who we hope could have a bounce back year. And a lot of people also consider a Pro Bowl talent. And then Elijah Vera Tucker, who many people think could have been an all pro across quite a few different positions. And you know, the outlook for a guy like him looks really, really good. So some of the things I'm excited for that he's going to bring in terms of his tools. He's able to contain defenders within his area pretty well. He uses his frame and his hand technique to be able to push the pile and again kind of do some of those mirror techniques, contain his area. And as a run blocker, which he's proven to be much better at than a pass protector, he reaches the second level pretty well, and he's going out there to really lay somebody on the ground. So I'm excited for all of those things, even though it's going to come with, you know, a little less athleticism than maybe a Connor McGovern and maybe not elite traits in terms of being able to stall somebody. But I look no further than what the Tennessee Titans has really been able to do in the running game. And if you want to, you know, just take a look at the last couple years, 2022, they finished 11 in attempts, 13 in yards, 11th in touchdowns, 16th in yards per attempt. 2021, first in attempts, fifth in yards, third in touchdowns, 14th in yards per attempt. 2020, second in attempts, second in yards, second in touchdowns, second in yards per attempt. 2019, top 10 in attempts, third in yards, second in touchdowns, third in yards per attempt. So he's been, you know, that star in the middle that's really making sure things are in place. They're set. He's getting the protections ready. He's making sure his guys are ready to go out there and maul people. And that's exactly what we have been missing in the middle of our line for quite some time now. So I'm excited to get back to it. We do have some connections there with Todd Downing and Keith Carter, passing game and offensive line coach respectively, being in the building for us. So it should be somewhat of an easier transition for him. Couple that in with Nathaniel Hackett, who's a run first mindseted coach as our offensive coordinator. And I think this could be the best of a bad situation, which a lot of people feel has been the case in free agency for us, with us missing out on certain guys. But I think we get an excellent anchor in the middle of our offensive line. Currently, we can go out there and really take a risk on getting a guy with elite traits that maybe isn't the most necessarily ready to play here and now, and give him that year, maybe even 2 years to go out there and then get a firm grasp on the position. Or you go and get a plug and play guy behind him, and hopefully you build up some of the physical traits. So I know two of the ones that are at the top of my mind: John Michael Smits, and then Joe Tippmann, who's my personal favorite at the moment, although I'm still diving into the class. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Ben Jones in green and white in New York, and I will catch you guys again. Peace.